Okay, it is Luxury Fred. And this, my friends, is the 2019 Lexus ES 350 F Sport. The ES has been totally redesigned for 2019. This is kind of an all-new car, even though Lexus has had the ES for a long time. And before I start my review, I wanted to say, for those of you who have subscribed to my channel, thank you. I appreciate it. If you haven't, please click subscribe. Subscribe to my channel. And I am a luxury travel and luxury car writer. You can read my car reviews in Business Traveler magazine and at businesstravelerusa.com. So I get these cars for a couple weeks and then I review them for you here on YouTube and again for Business Traveler magazine. So as I was saying, this is the 2019 Lexus ES 350 F Sport. I'm going to cheat a little if that's okay. So this is Lexus's mid-size luxury car, probably to compete with maybe a BMW 5 Series or Audi A6, something like that. All of the ESs have the same engine. It's a fancy 3.5 liter V6 engine with dual overhead cam and, you know, all the other cool technical aspects that Lexus has in all their engines. It gives you 302 horsepower, 0 to 60 in about 6.6 seconds. In my driving, I've been getting about 25 miles per gallon in pretty aggressive driving. It's got an 8-speed automatic transmission with direct shift, 8-speed automatic direct shift transmission. It is front wheel drive, which I hate. And you do get a little torque steer and you do get a little, you know, it's always strange when you really drive aggressively and you get wheel spin from the front wheels. But overall, it's got a nice balance and it's got a really nice feel. And in normal driving, you really don't notice that it's front wheel drive or wish it wasn't front wheel drive. The car starts, the ES 350 starts at $39,500. This is the top of the line, again, F Sport model with all the options that you can get. And this car is $53,000 and change, something like that. Some people say I don't have commented, I don't go into enough detail. So I want to just talk about what this car has. I'm going to read from the Monroney from the window sticker here. And that way I can comment on some of the stuff as I've had an opportunity to use it in driving the car. So again, engine 3.5 liter V6, variable valve timing, 24 valve dual overhead cam, variable valve timing in the intake and the exhaust. As I mentioned in the, actually, before I go through this, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me give you a look at the outside of the car. So the first thing you see is Lexus's new signature grille, which you'll see on all of the different models now. They really wanted something iconic and, you know, exciting, and I kind of like it. It's very visible, and now when you see a car coming towards you, you can immediately tell that's a Lexus because of the grille. Something you might notice, there are two styles of grille. This is the F Sport style, which is blacked out, as you can see. And now let me quickly show you the non-F Sport grille, which is chrome. So you can see there's a difference, and that carries through all the different models. I just had the LS 500, and the same thing. The regular LS 500 has the chrome, and the LS 500 F Sport has the black grille. We have the optional triple beam LED headlights up there, as you can see, which work very, very well at night, very bright. And this also has that cornering thing, so that at night when you turn the wheel, part of the light lights up the side where you're turning, which I like. You see you've got the subtle F Sport badging there. You've got a bit more body work than on the regular one. You also have the custom wheels there that again differentiate the F Sport model from the non-F Sport model. And then moving into the back, the F Sport has that spoiler on the back deck. You can see the F Sport badging there, and you have a more slightly different exhaust outlets and things like that. Something else I just noticed, excuse the dirt on the car, I just had it washed, but you have a very subtle F Sport kind of written in the bumper there. See that? F Sport. And then you have what are becoming Lexus's signature taillights that you're seeing on all the different models. And as I've said before, the thing about that grille is it's kind of replicated with the lines on the back here. And then in the front, all of the lines of the car emanate from the grille design. So as you can see, you know, this point becomes this line on the hood there. This goes down here and becomes this styling piece there. So you can see that the car's style and things like that emanate from that grille. Okay, pretty nice. And I love that blue. And that blue is called Hypersonic Blue Mica, by the way. Let me give you a look now at the inside of the car. So the first thing you're greeted with is the beautiful red leather F Sport sport seats and interior. Really, really good feel, really solid, very comfortable, both for aggressive driving and for cruising. We'll get in the car here. Oh, look. See the road runners running across the road over there? Anyhow, so we have a beautiful red leather interior, and the red leather is continued on some of the door surfaces here. You have red stitching that goes throughout the car. So this is kind of a red and, you know, kind of the color theme of the car. You also have red on the steering wheel here. Let me go through the different things inside the car. We have an optional Mark Levinson stereo system, and I just love the grills of these speakers. Look at the design of the grill. Very cool, almost organic design for the speaker cover there. So starting on the left, we have your window controls here. You have your seat memory. I did have a little bit of back pain driving this 2 hours from LA to Palm Springs yesterday. I was playing with there's a lumbar support, you know, that inflates and deflates, and just trying to get a setting that worked for me. Down here you have your trunk release and your gas cap release. Over here you have your the brightness display, and then it does have, I don't know if you can see, this does have the optional heads-up display, which I think you can control. No, that's the brightness. Somewhere you can control the position of the heads-up display. You have an adjustable steering wheel. Over here you have your infotainment controls and things like that. And then over here you have your cruise control is here. This is to set the distance So if we turn on the cruise control, this button sets the distance as to how close it will follow. Again, it has the adaptive cruise control. This is the lane keep assist with active steering assist, I think they call it. And this has sensors or cameras or some other way, and it can see the road lines, and it actually keeps you, you could drive without hands on the wheel, because it sees the road lines and it nudges you back and forth, almost like autopilot or something like that. So you can see that they're getting to a point where it's going to have that kind of feature like Cadillac's Super Cruise, where you can drive for periods of time hands off. So that was cool. I was using that on the freeway, and again, it keeps you between the lines. On the steering wheel, you have your F-Sport badging here. You have kind of a cool leather, race-inspired steering wheel. You have paddle shifters. I believe all the different ES models do have paddle shifters. Start-stop button here. Parking brake down there. This is your brake hold function, which is a very cool luxury thing that a lot of Lexus models have. If you're in stop-and-go traffic and you activate this, when the traffic stops and you push the brake, you can take your foot off the brake and it holds the brake. You don't have to keep holding the brake with your foot, and then when traffic moves forward again, once you hit the accelerator, it takes off the brake and the car moves forward. So it allows you to be a little more comfortable because you don't have to sit there and keep holding the brake down when you're in stop-and-go traffic. You have your very nice dashboard here. Learning the design of this car is inspired by the LS500. Hopefully you've watched my review here on YouTube of the LS500, and you've seen it has this beautiful sweeping dash with this kind of diagonal insert part for the radio and the climate control. Something else I noticed, this has a very cool texture to it. The background for this, if you can see the texture there. So here we have our climate control, dual zone climate control. You have your large screen up here, and you have all your different functions. Obviously this has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and all that other stuff. You also have a Lexus app that allows you to control some functions of the car from the app. So again, climate control, radio. Over here is how you turn the traction control off, and then this is your sport, your drive setting. So because this is the F Sport, it gives you 2 extra drive modes than the other cars. So you have a normal, if you put it in that way, and then you can see it change. If I put it here, that's the sport setting. And then if I take it one more, that's the Sport Plus setting. The other ES models don't have a Sport Plus, only the F Sport does. And then if you go downwards, it puts it into what's called Eco mode, which gives you the best gas mileage. If you have it in normal mode, when you drive calmly, green light comes up and shows you that it is in Eco mode. But again, only the F Sport has the Sport Plus setting. Obviously that changes the engine, changes the suspension, changes the shifting and all that stuff to give you better performance. Here you have your transmission. It is an 8-speed automatic direct shift transmission. Unfortunately, it's front wheel drive, but it does fairly well. You can shift again with the paddle shifters, and then if you take it here and push it like that, then you have a manual mode where you can shift up and down like that. Here you have, this is how you control the infotainment, and as I move that around, each time it lands on something, there's a little bump, I feel. I think they call it a haptic touch there, so I can feel where I'm going. And again, you have all your normal luxury car functions and things like that, from GPS to all the other stuff. And this does have something called Lexus Inform, which is their interactive system. The SOS thing, I think, is good for 10 years, and then you get 1 year free of their Informed Destination service, which is where you can call up someone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at Lexus, and they will give you destination information, and they can even remotely enter stuff into your navigation. So you could be driving on the freeway and say, hey, where's the nearest Ritz-Carlton? And they can say, okay, it's in Rancho Mirage. And if you tell them okay, they can put that remotely into the GPS, then you hit okay, and it shows up there. It's actually very cool. So again, these are the functions to control the infotainment system. You have, I guess this is a DVD or a CD slot here. You have heated steering wheel and heated and cooled seats there. You have your cup holder here, and then here you have your little USB thing, and I like that they have a little cover on the USB thing. Then you have another little cup holder space here, or space for your phone. And center console here with an old school power outlet in there. And then as you can see again, for the passenger, a beautiful, beautiful red leather Lexus sport seat. Okay, let me take you in the back. Okay, and now looking at the back seat, here you get a better view of the really cool grille for the speaker there. Again, that's the optional Mark Levinson stereo system. As we get in, you can see the mix of finishes here. You have this cool kind of brushed aluminum finish there. You have seat back pockets here. Back here you have your power outlets. You don't have controls for the climate control back here, but you do have vents. And then the backseat passengers are also treated to the beautiful red leather sport seats. You have a center console here with a cup holder, and then you have a pass-through there to the trunk. And this is lockable so that you can totally lock up the trunk. You do have an additional light back here for rear seat passengers. Something I don't like, especially living out here in the hot desert of Palm Springs, there's no rear sunshade. So the car gets really hot. Okay, let me show you the trunk. So the seats in this car do not fold down, which I expected them to do, but they do not fold down. So the trunk can be opened from the remote. There is a button on the dashboard, or there's a little button under there, and you push that. And you can see that we do have a pass-through there, but we do not have folding seats. That is interesting. So the Lexus ES does not have fold-down rear seats. Interesting. So there you have a look at the large trunk. Okay, so now that you've had a look at the outside and the inside of the car, let me go over the specs here, and it'll make a lot more sense. What else? So you have the full range of Lexus safety features and lots of airbags and collision assist and lane departure alert and rear cross traffic alert and automatic braking and all of that stuff that really makes it a safe car to drive. You have those, as I showed you, you have the triple, what do they call it? Triple beam LED headlights. I talked about a lot of the other stuff. You have a one-touch open and close moonroof and sunroof. You've got your 8-inch color display here for the infotainment system. I mentioned that you have the Lexus Inform. You have, this car is a Wi-Fi hotspot as well. You have smartwatch and Alexa skill integration. So any kind of technology out there, this car can accommodate it. And then the F-Sport gives you some additional features that come with the F-Sport. You have 10-way F-Sport bolstered front heated and ventilated power seats. Lexus memory for driver's seat, outside mirrors, and steering wheel. So when you hit the memory, it sets everything, which is really cool. The steering wheel, the mirror, the seat, all that kind of stuff is affected by that. Then in terms of the F Sport, as I said before, it gives you that additional Sport Plus drive mode. You have what's called performance dampers in the front and wheel and rear. And then as I showed you, you had the 19-inch split 5-spoke aluminum alloy wheels. Inside you have something called Hadori aluminum trim, which is this. You have aluminum kind of race-inspired pedals, and you have the other exterior F-Sport styling that I talked about. The options that this car has, so this car is $44,000 before the options, and then it has $9,000 in options. The adaptive variable suspension is $750. The blind spot monitor with rear cross traffic alert is $1,065. You have a 10-inch head-up display, that's $500. The triple beam LED headlights are $1,515. That's a lot. And then you have the full high-end Mark Levinson stereo system with the full navigation, Apple CarPlay, the Lexus Informed Destination that I talked about. All that stuff is $3,000. F-Sport heated steering wheel, $595. And then some other stuff for $500, a trunk mat, illuminated door sills, all that, bringing the total to $53,388. There are a bunch of different models of the ES. There are seven different models. So it starts with the ES350, then there's an ES350 Luxury, then there's an ES350 Ultra Luxury. You can also get this car in a hybrid version. So there's three versions of that: the ES300H Hybrid, ES300H Luxury, ES300H Ultra Luxury, and then the top of the line is the ES350 F Sport, which is what this one is. The hybrid gives you 44 miles per gallon with a 2.5 liter gas engine with an electrical engine as well. So as I was saying, my overall review of the car, the only negatives are I'm not a big fan of front wheel drive, and I wish it had the rear sunshade. Everything else is great. It really has a nice, solid luxury car feel. When you have this car out on the freeway, it is just so quiet and so smooth, and just really, really nice power from that engine. It took me a while to get used to it and kind of to adjust to it, but you know, really smooth power, and if you're not careful, it's very easy to approach triple-digit speeds. Passing and all that kind of stuff is just instantaneous. It really, really is a wonderful, wonderful car to drive. And then on mountain roads and things like that, again, same thing. Great suspension, and with that adaptive variable suspension and the dampers and all those kind of F-Sport performance upgrades, it really, really is a pleasure to drive, and handles great, and it's a wonderful car. And for $53,000 out the door loaded, I really think it's a good, you get a heck of a lot of car for the money. You can pay that for a Honda, you can pay that for, you know, a Nissan or a Toyota or something like that, but this gives you that real wonderful luxurious experience. From the moment you get in and you put your butt in these beautiful red leather sports seats and you feel the wheel and all that, really has a wonderful premium high-end luxury experience, and I really enjoyed driving the car. That concludes my review. Again, this is the 2019 Lexus ES350 F Sport. As I said in the beginning, please subscribe to my channel for more great luxury car and luxury travel content. Please leave me a comment below the video. Let me know what you think. You can follow me on social media at LuxuryFred and at DriveWithFred. Thank you very much for watching.